Hello and welcome to Tome of Uselessness. I'm Devin.
I'm Dan.
And this is our podcast.
It is indeed.
Yay!
I think they would know that listening to us.
Nah.
No. Yeah.
Before we get started, I just want to say, because it's really funny and I don't think we've mentioned it yet, Dan's fridge. We record in Dan's house. Dan's fridge sounds like a lawnmower going through a wood chipper. It is so loud. So every time we record, he has to turn it off, but he has to use a knife to turn the dial.
Yeah, but that's like standard fridges.
Oh, I know. It's just funny though. You just go get your cutlery and turn off the fridge.
Yeah, it's unfortunately really, really loud. My previous motor burnt out, and then my landlord put in one that apparently, again, belongs in a jet engine. So
yeah, it definitely sounds like a lawnmower and a wood chipper.
It's quite loud.
It's very, very loud.
Yeah.
Anyways, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
No.
We're switching it up a little bit.
Yeah.
New year, new podcast. So a couple weeks ago, we did our board game episode.
Yeah.
When Dan was dying from the plague. And this week, we want to talk about the Tome of YouTube.
Yeah, I was trying to remember off the top of my head, what year was YouTube the Time Magazine of the Person of the Year? Remember they released one and it was just it was like a shiny mirror and it was like, you was basically it was like, I want to say early 2000 because that was back when I used to work anyway, but but I remember that and I thought that was so funny because that was the time when YouTube finally hit like millions of views and
and now PewDiePie, top YouTuber, top subscription.
Yeah.
60 million subscribers.
Yeah, well, and that was like when Gangnam Style released, they had to rechange their counting algorithm because it went to 1 billion views so fast.
60 million people. Well, I mean, there's probably a proportion of that that's bots because that's with any program that happens. But 60 million subscribers, that's like a country.
Oh, yeah.
That's
more
crazy.
Than our country.
That's insane.
Yeah. But that's not like everybody watches it all the time, and maybe there's some, people that have subscribed ages ago and then never go back. Right?
Yeah,
but still, that is very impressive. I'm not.
It's insane, right?
I'm not dogging that.
I don't know if you've watched anything, but for what it is, I find it baffling that he has that many. It's entertaining, but it's not.
I'm not his target audience.
Yeah. But
my friend tried to show me some, and it lasted like 10 seconds, and I was like, turn that off now, please.
I don't mind it. I watch him occasionally. I know there's been a lot of controversy around him because he said the N-word.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that.
And he's like a war going on with the media because they think he's a Nazi, but he's not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Occasionally it's funny, but
sure.
It's nothing like.
It's not a traditional media thing, and 60 million people are watching an episode of Friends. You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, right? But
exactly.
Yeah, it's not. What I was gonna say is it's not big budget. It's not a lot of special effects. He's not really doing anything super innovative.
Yeah.
He's talking about memes most of the time, or playing video games. Good for him.
Yeah, so people turn.
Someone's got a high charisma role.
Yeah, turning into his personality.
But anyways, since YouTube now is kind of, I feel like because YouTube wasn't around when we were kids.
No, of course not.
It wasn't. The internet wasn't really what it is now when we were kids.
No, nowhere near.
So, yeah, because you're old as death.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only the last year or 2 years for me that I felt like YouTube is actually a valid entertainment source.
Right. Well,
because in the past, mostly what I've used YouTube for is to look up music videos.
Yes, it's a great source for that.
Yeah. But now there's so many, I guess they're called creators.
Yeah.
On there that make a lot of fucking content, more than, when you think about it, it's as much, if not more, than those 28 episode seasons in the 90s of TV shows, because they're making videos every day that are 10 minutes long or 15 minutes long.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, one of the things, it's an unfortunate thing that it's now YouTube is so ingrained that it's hard for any newer streaming platform to rise or get subscribers or to get content. And then, of course...
Twitch does pretty good.
Yeah, well, and I got my issues with Twitch, sure, but it's like... But then also YouTube always has to change its system and then...
monetization?
Yeah, it's monetization or just anything, and then it's like crushes a big portion of their creators because they're not one of these heavy guys like PewDiePie or anybody who's making a video every day, and then it's like, well, now what's the point of me even making more videos, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like...
And I guess like when it started, YouTube was just more about making videos to make videos.
Like, it was just
kind
about
of
people like...
circling back to that a little bit.
But it was just like, oh, I recorded something cool, I should put it on the internet and other people could watch it, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like you say, it's a valid platform to like make your show and put it on. Our show is on YouTube, right?
Yeah, totally.
So it's like it's become
we're nowhere near being able to monetize it.
No, of course not. But
you need 1,000 subscribers and
really?
400. Is it 400 or 4,000 minutes watched?
Really? It's funny because we made a video back in the day of just my friend and I on a deck shooting a paintball gun.
Yeah.
And it was like a joke video because everyone always makes this video with their new paintball gun and it's always terrible. So we were just making like a joking version of it. And it got enough views that my buddy who posted it got a letter from YouTube being like, you can get monetization from this video.
Oh my God.
And it was literally, I'm playing the Wii in the background and he's shooting it and it was just so stupid.
Awesome.
We're like, how is this possible?
my work, Venus and Bars, we made these stupid little videos, and there was one where I'm telling people how to put in a monocle, and it was not filmed well. Sinead was filming it. I think it was either with her phone or with like a digital camera. She didn't have a tripod. It was shaky, and I didn't know that she was going to film. So she's just like, "Hey, Devin, tell us how to put in a monocle." And I'm like, and it's gotten over 10,000 views.
There you go.
And actually, I'm going to be totally honest. It had a lot of terrible, like, mean comments. I've deleted all of them, though. Yeah, most of them were like terrible video, nice tits. So it's kind of like what's going on. Yeah, I actually got another comment like the other day that I just deleted. It was like, "This is cringeworthy," and I'm like, "Well, go fuck yourself. How about that?"
Like, it was never intended for this purpose.
Yeah. Anyways, so there was the adpocalypse that changed everything, which some people blamed on PewDiePie because of the Wall Street Journal did that article saying that he was a Nazi, and some people blamed it on the fact that there was all these kids videos that I don't know if you heard about this.
No, honestly, I have no idea. I remember... Anyway.
People were like uploading these videos for kids that had very kid-friendly names and would like pick up in the algorithm and so if you like sat your kid down with an iPad and put it like just press play and then it was like auto
go and it's like family content
then it would come up but there was like I don't know, it would be either like, you know, the characters dying or like having sex and all this stuff that was like really not kid friendly. But they would like, I don't know why somebody would do that, but they did.
Trolling.
And they knew how to title it and how to tag it to like get all the views and stuff, right?
Well, and I was to say that because there was a time too, like always the side links and it's like a picture of like a girl with like a bikini. But that's not the content. Yeah, that's not the content at all. It was like clickbait.
But it would kind of like start off like a kid show and then it would go like horribly wrong. So a lot of advertisers pulled out for that. Right. Okay. And then there was the second adpocalypse that happened fairly recently. And I don't know if I'm mixing... That might have been to do with the Logan Paul thing. I can't remember.
I know, obviously, that was an issue.
Yeah, because Logan Paul filmed a dead body and then put it in a thumbnail. Yeah. And then he was like, I never meant for that to happen.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
There was only 8 steps for me to stop myself.
No!
Not 10.
It's hard, though, because, like, I can see if you are surrounded by people that... you're giving money to because you have money and so they just encourage you to do whatever you want. Sure. Like surrounding yourself with paid yes men. Yeah. And you have to come up with content every day and you're always trying to like boost your numbers and like you want to keep your growth happening and stuff.
Something controversial.
You're like, oh, people will click on this. Yeah. So I guess, and like, I mean... Fuck, if I had to make 10-minute videos every day, I don't know what the fuck I'd talk about. I'd be like, I went to work and I came home. Yeah. So I can kind of see why he thought it was a good idea, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I can see that two sides of that too. And
Yeah.
I had this discussion recently with a friend of mine as well, and it's just like, I get it that the internet's pretty free and there's lines, but again, if you're a show guy, there's some expectations. Maybe there's a line you just don't cross,
yeah. And it was really funny because, like, I can't remember if it was, I think it wasn't the apology. I think it was in the intro to the video, because he's like, oh, there's some graphic stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I think he even says, I think this might be, like a landmark in YouTube history because no one's ever shown a dead body on YouTube before. And I'm like, that's not an accomplishment.
Yeah, I think that's also against the TOS. But
Yeah. Anyways, regardless of all that.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is YouTube is a thing.
Absolutely.
It's a valid form of entertainment.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, talk about some of the channels we like, or some of the things that we, at least for myself, it was like, some of the channels I kind of go back to most, or if I notice they have some new content, I'm like, sweet, I click on it.
Yeah.
I want to see what they've uploaded.
For sure. Yeah. You want to start, or should I start, or do you want to go one and one?
Well, here's what I'll do is I'll talk about this little category real quick, and then we can do some other stuff. So I have a couple that sport-wise that I look up. Because, sports makes
Do you like sports?
I meant so much sport. No, but I was going to say the IFSC, which is the International Federation for Sport Climbing.
Actually, they have cool videos.
They have great videos, and they post and also live stream full competitions.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of them throughout the year, so I usually check them out and watch their content, and the climbing competitions are quite intense, and again, being into the climbing scene right now and having a good time, it's pretty cool to see some of these people and just physically what they do. It's amazing, right? So I like to check out their stuff a lot, and a lot of great content on there. And then the SLS, which is the Street Skateboarding League, or Street League Skateboarding, sorry. It was Nike took over, so it's, you got a little bit of that going on. But they used
I'm going to use my Nikes runners to get on this.
No, there's always like the commercials too and stuff like that. But they used to post more, or then they stopped, and then I think they are back to posting some. But again, it's possible to find like full competitions.
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
Like the full raw feed of 3 hours of a skateboard competition. And there's some, again, I enjoy skateboarding. I'm not good at it, but I like it.
You're probably better than you think you are, because you're always like, I'm not good at this. Oh my god, I placed first in this climbing championship.
No, I unfortunately, I'd like to be better at skateboarding, but it's one of those things I don't think I'll be able to be better at. But
Till
I
you
enjoy
go
it.
at a competition and you place first.
And play first, yeah. But I enjoy it, and seeing again some of these athletes and some of the skateboarding. It's a very narrow category. Like, it's not, there's no big half pipe and all that kind of stuff like that, right? It's more just like street tricks and stuff like that, but it's still pretty cool.
That's
watching
awesome.
Some of these guys, and they post good competition amount, so you can watch it.
Cool.
So yeah.
I think the majority of what I use, a good portion of what I use YouTube for, is to just look up how to do things.
Oh, that's a great thing about YouTube.
Yeah.
You type in anything and just be like, even that, I showed you briefly that ski key.
Yeah.
Because that's new. There's a video tutorial online, like how to use the ski
that's
key.
awesome.
It's like, it's just like, you put the thing in and you do the thing.
Yeah, I think more than anything, what I use YouTube for is research.
Sure.
Like if I want to like try a new diet or something, I'll look up reviews of what people have said on doing it, or that's the only thing I can think of. But I'm sure I use it for the cooking stuff, a lot of cooking stuff. Like what should I make for dinner? Sometimes I type into YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think that's like the majority of what I use it for. But I do have channels that I'm subscribed to that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. Oh, and makeup tutorials, obviously.
Sure.
So that I can look this beautiful.
Excellent.
So I can look podcast ready.
Gotta be.
Yeah. So what do you think your number one watched channel is?
Well, if I'm going to be totally honest, it's Red Letter Media.
Yeah, because you've been following them for years.
Well, yeah, ever since and I know they did stuff before, but when he released the Mr. Plinkett Star Wars Episode 1 breakdown, that was my intro to Red Letter Media, and I was hooked. And yeah, it's the only Patreon I give money to, and I check their site like all the time, and I love watching their stuff. They're great.
Yeah, they have some funny stuff.
Yes,
for sure.
So that would probably be my number one watched.
Yeah. Well, how would you describe the channel, though?
Oh, how would I describe the channel? Okay, well,
if somebody listening have never heard of Red Letter Media.
That's true. They do movie reviews. Number one was one of their things. They have several different shows, but Half in the Bag is one of them. Mm-hmm. That's their movie review
when they're drunk?
Show. No, they're not drunk when they do this one.
Oh.
I mean, they drink a couple of beers here and there, but it's like current movies. So like if there's a Wonder Woman, they do a Wonder Woman review. Mm-hmm. Batman v Superman, they do that. And I don't know, I feel like they bring an interesting perspective. Yeah, it's just two dudes, but it's like they are more into the content creation, so they kind of look at it from a different lens than just like whether or not they enjoyed it or not. So I think they have some cool views about it. They were kind of almost one of the few that like started my love of like movie structure.
That's cool.
Like, well, yeah. And then they do several other shows. My other favorite of theirs is Best of the Worst. They watch 3 B movies, either chosen at random or however method, or like a category. They'll watch 3 horror movies, let's just say, and then they do a review panel discussion. There's usually 4 of them, and they're a little more drunk in that show. And it's also pretty hilarious as well. And then there's the Mr. Plinkett reviews, where he really goes in depth. He's done a bunch of Star Wars, Star Trek movies, and he's done a couple other movies, but he goes really in depth, like has behind the scenes footage, and like he does all the research, and then goes, if they're like an hour long, and then he just talks about the movie, and usually it's because what's wrong with the movie.
Nice.
There's a little bit of positivity, but it's like, here's the problems. So yeah, mostly focused on movies and entertainment. So yeah, I really enjoy their stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I think because I'm subscribed to a lot of channels, you're not subscribed to anybody.
No.
Because you're a terrible person and you don't support your artist.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Except, like I said, Red Letter Media.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I'm just teasing you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have to break it down more into categories and specific channels, but I'll kind of highlight specific channels in each category.
Sure. Well, and like I have a couple categories here, but
after how-to videos, I think the next thing is that I watch just stuff with drag.
Yeah.
I watch so many drag shows. World of Wonder is, of course, they started Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race, so they have a bunch of different shows on there. They have like
yeah, and like you were telling me, it sounds like there's like full episodes of stuff on there, right? Like,
they're not legally on there.
Right. Okay. Right.
But I do have a subscription to Out TV, so I can watch everything full on there through like legal means.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
World of Wonder has little like mini episode. I don't know what to call it. So they have like what's it called? Fashion photo review with Raven and Raja. So after each episode of Drag Race, they go through each outfit that they've done on the stage, and they toot it or boot it. Toots are good, boots are bad.
Okay.
So that's one that I watch, which I was like seeing what they hear, or hearing what they say about. Yeah.
Outfits. Yeah.
Another one of their shows is with Trixie and Katya. And that actually ended up being picked up by Vice TV, so they have a real show on TV now. Their show was like, they just talked about whatever they want. Nice. And they get really off topic. And it's so funny. Like, I actually turned my husband onto it, and he ended up subscribing so he could watch all their episodes too. There's also like a ton of, and then there's like Brolaska, which is Alaska Thunderfuck and her brother, and they just talk about stuff, but it's really funny because her brother's very straight and like masculine, and she's usually in drag. Yeah.
Right.
And there's Logo TV, same idea. Also, they own part of Drag Race, so they have a lot of the drag queens on doing makeup tutorials, which I love watching.
I was about to say, there's got to be a channel about the makeup tutorials.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love it so much because, like, basically it's like, it taught me how to do makeup because it shows you such an over-the-top version of it that you're like, okay, so if I just kind of do that a little bit lighter, that's how to do it. Whereas sometimes when I watch other makeup tutorials, I'm like, well, I can't do that. But if I'm watching somebody do it really harshly, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then there's like individual drag queens that I follow. So like Alaska, again, who does a lot of music. Like she has a lot of albums, so she does a lot of music videos and stuff. And then Jinx Monsoon, same deal. She does I showed you the cartoons and vodka video, which
great.
Everyone should go look at because it's an animated video and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Plus Trixie Patel, but she doesn't really post that many videos, but I'm still subscribed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say like drag is a lot of what I watch.
Is a majority of your YouTube consumption.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's weird because like I don't know, we could do an episode on drag at some point because I feel like out of everything I've ever, like, as a woman, everything, like, you know, like, oh, love your body and all that shit, nothing has taught me more about, like, self-confidence and drag.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's these, like, women have penises and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Drag stuff
is a good chunk.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your turn.
Sure. Well, I was gonna say, so I kind of created like I have a category about I'm a big gamer.
What?
I know, shocking to many, but one of my favorite game channels is related to board games, and it's the Dice Tower. And so these guys, they're really popular. They're like, because they have like a Dice Tower cruise, and
whoa,
yeah, like that people just go on and like play board games, I guess, and like
why aren't you going to that?
I don't know. The three hosts are Tom Vassell, Z Garcia, and Sam Healy. And I actually, the most content I like from them is their top 10 lists that they do. They do one like every month or so, or every couple weeks. Some of the reviews are pretty good as well, but it's actually interesting watching their top 10 lists. And then you can kind of you start to learn like their tastes in like in games, and then what they like. And then so when you watch the review, you can kind of get it from a better lens that you're like, oh, this guy enjoys that type of game, which I also kind of enjoy. And then when I hear his review, his criticisms or his, praises make more sense.
Right.
Because then you're like, oh, he didn't like that aspect of it. I probably wouldn't like that aspect because I also enjoy these kind of games like he does.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they have a ton of content. Yeah, they go to like Gen Con, like board game conventions that are big and stuff like that, industry ones and stuff like that. They are actually also sort of like a publisher for board games. So these guys,
cool.
Yeah, they're not like just noobs or like they
What?
Yeah, no, like I didn't know how much more involved in board gaming they were. I just discovered their channel not that long ago, maybe like a year ago, and I was just like, oh, what's all this? And then, it turns out some of my favorite games have been like published by them.
So were they, do you know if they were popular before they had the YouTube channel, or do you think they came up from YouTube?
I think they started as a podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because they also still do like have podcasts as well and stuff. I think they started as a podcast and then eventually
got YouTube.
Bigger. Yeah, got YouTube and then many subscribers and then started doing more. And I think again with some of the I don't know how it kind of steamrolled into, like they have what they call the Dice Tower Essentials line, and it literally is like a Rotten Tomatoes logo that like shows up on some board games that are like, boom,
oh wow,
this is Dice Tower Essential, which means they've approved it essentially, and you're like, well, that's probably a good game then.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they really a lot of good content there. Like I said, the top 10 lists are my favorite, just because they usually do like they'll do say top 10 horror games or top 10 strategy games or top 10 whatevers, right? And then they kind of, again, the three have different tastes. Kind of like one kind of is a mix almost of the two in tastes, and the other one's very extreme on one end, the other one's very extreme on the other. So you can get some good perspective there. So yeah, lots of good content there. And then I'm not a speedrunner when it comes to video games.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy watching some speedruns.
Okay.
And so there's an event every year called AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, and it's a charity event.
Nice.
Yeah, and it literally runs 24/7 for like a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they post it all on YouTube.
Cool.
And so you can go on there and check out speedruns. Like it just happened recently in January, and so there was a really good Mega Man X race. So it was like 4 people playing Mega Man on different consoles, and then just whoever beat it first won the race, right? But they're all really good speedrunners, and so like I said, I don't speedrun games, but I like watching sometimes.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting to see either people breaking a game or playing a game like in a glitchless run, having to play it like perfect.
Right. Yeah.
And it's hard to do in a live setting because it's live streamed, and what they're playing is you're watching it, so they make mistakes of course and stuff like that, but they still beat the game in like super fast, right? Like, so it's pretty cool. And then I was gonna lead into this guy's newer, and he's kind of spawned some other people doing this idea as well. His name's Summoning Salt. Apparently he's a speedrunner. but he's been doing videos about the history of speedrunning records of certain games.
Oh,
So
interesting.
he, like I say, he's newer to the scene, but he's done, I want to say like 10 videos, maybe a few more, but like his most recent one was just the history of Super Mario
Yeah.
level 4-2, which in speedrunning is like how you can warp to World 8, if you've ever played Super Mario.
Yeah.
Which, of course, to beat the game quick, you gotta warp to World 8. So, but then there's been years of people finding glitches and ways to get through it, and literally he does like a 20-minute video about that.
Oh,
And
cool.
So, but yeah, so say for example Super Mario 64, he just talks about the speed record of that, and like I really enjoyed his one basically about like getting 120 stars, which in Super Mario, that's like the 100%. And then, yeah, he just basically talks about, he's like, oh, this is like the first speed run. Guy who did it in like 4 hours or whatever. And then it's like now the modern day record, it's like 120 something or whatever.
Oh, crazy.
And it's just like, yeah, so he shows some clips. And so he does some neat research and just kind of like, oh, it's kind of neat because it's just another record. And like, you know, Usain Bolt sprinting super fast, super cool to see. And then you can see that progression of time. And so through some of these video games. So yeah, it's a neat, and like I said, spawned some other stuff. I know a couple other ones. I've asked him for permission before to be like, oh, I want to thank Summoning Salt for letting me do this video, because one guy does one on Ocarina of Time, another guy did one on Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, cool.
So, but yeah, it's just kind of neat these, because they're still going on today, these records that are being broken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, and so that's kind of when it comes to gaming content, some of the channels I like to look at.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the next category that I watch a lot of, I guess would be like vloggers. I guess like, I don't know what else to call them. They just do vlogs.
Yeah.
So like one of them is Sophia Nygaard, who used to work for BuzzFeed and then left and started her own channel. Now she's got over 4 million subscribers.
Oh.
Her boyfriend also does stuff and I think has like 500,000 or something like that subscribers. But she just kind of does like, I mean, it's fluff. It's not, you know, deep or anything, but I like watching it in the mornings when I'm having breakfast.
Sure.
So she does stuff like, she did a series where it was like, I dress like I'm from 2007. I dress like I'm from 1997, like, and goes backwards in time.
Really?
So she's done, I think, up to like the 70s or the 60s now.
Yeah.
She also does like stuff where she takes all her makeup and mixes like all one type of makeup and mixes it together to see what color it is and then wears it. So it's kind of interesting.
Sure.
Like that kind of thing. She reviews some stuff. She does funny videos where she's like, I'm going to buy the first 5 products that are advertised to me on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, right? So those are always interesting too.
Sure.
Or like, I'm going to make an entire outfit out of stuff I see on wish.com, which is like, you know, everything's under like $5 or whatever.
Right.
So hers are kind of funny. I also watch Ultra Radical Toy Works, which is Tony's friend Logan.
Right.
I think he's got like, I don't know how many subscribers, under 1,000.
That's not, is that the guy who builds?
Yeah, so he does a couple of things. He has Monday vlogs where he just kind of tells you what's going on in his life. He does Tuesday videos where he reviews a toy in detail. And then he has streams on Thursday where he builds Lego for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's kind of likable and like he puts like, I mean, they're pretty polished videos that he puts out. And
that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I know you recommended it to me several times.
So if anyone's bored on a Thursday at 10 p.m., you should go on his stream. And
Pacific time?
Yeah. And tell them that we sent you. It's Black Friday, I really like, another vlog. She is goth. So she's always done up in full goth makeup. And it kind of depends. She's doesn't really post regularly. She's kind of got some mental health issues that prevents her from doing it on like a schedule, I guess. But she's originally from New Zealand and she moved to Germany. And so she vlogs from Germany. And I don't know, sometimes it's like a makeover video and sometimes it's like she gets a loot crate full of like candy from around the world. So sometimes it's about that.
Sure.
Sometimes she just talks about her life. But I don't know, she's really charming. She's always like, she's like done up super goth, but she's always like, make sure to like love your neighbor and, you know, everybody be nice to each other. So it's kind of like, it's funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a IT crowd, right?
Yeah, totally. She also does really good videos where she does her outfit of the day video. So she'll be like, oh, I'm wearing this and this and this from blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Nice.
She's just very charming. The other vlog that I follow is Boy in a Band. I don't know. He's, again, it's like, he doesn't really post regularly either. He's from the UK and he's got very long hair. He had one video, I think he's got about 1 million subscribers.
Oh, nice.
He did one video that went super viral that was like a rap about not staying in school. And it got all this media attention because obviously it did.
Yeah.
But he's, I don't know, he's like I want to say he's in his early 20s and he's just, again, he just seems like a nice guy. It's like nothing like, I don't know, he's not really posting anything that changes the world, but it's interesting to listen to. And he does a lot of music on there, which is cool.
Nice.
And he did this collaboration with a bunch of other YouTubers where they made like a choose your own adventure chain.
Oh, really?
So they did a video, and then like at the end of the video it was like, oh, should I call so and so or should I go to his house? And then they made videos for each choice.
Oh, nice.
And then you could go through the chain until you got to the end. So
That's kind of cool.
yeah, I was kind of like, oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Apparently that was a thing people were doing in like 2007, but I completely missed it because I was only looking at like music videos at that time.
Cat videos.
Yeah, meow, meow, meow. Yeah. Where's kitty go? Meow, meow, meow.
That's what the internet's really for.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, so that's my vlogger list.
Oh, okay. Well, I was say, yeah, the rest of my list is mostly just either movie or entertainment, I guess I called it, except for, I guess, maybe shout out to Tested.
Oh, yeah, I'm subscribed to Tested,
Yeah,
too.
they do a lot of cool stuff. No, I think my favorite, of course, are the Adam Savage builds.
Yeah, the one-day builds?
The one-day builds, yeah usually. Or the non-one-day builds. But
I like the one-day builds.
Yeah, those are my favorite, I think, as well. But they do have some other content that I check out occasionally.
Did you watch the video where he, like, talked to the guy with the ray gun collection? Was that him or was that the other guy?
I don't know. I don't think so. I know he did. I talked to... I watched one where he talked to the... No, I think he got it sent. I think it was the Blade Runner gun. I thought he had the guy. Maybe it was...
Oh, you might have had him, but this guy just has a collection of like ray guns and he makes them too. Yeah. And they were just looking at like these old retro sci-fi futuristic kind of ray guns. It was really cool.
I still think my favorite one, and was one of the first ones I watched, I think, because one day I just stumbled on it, and then I think even like a week later you're like, have you heard of this? And I was like, yeah, I just found it as well. It was super cool. Is the one where he builds the shiny maze. I think that was probably one of my favorite things I've seen him make.
My first episode I watched was the Barbarella gun, wasn't it?
I think I sent you that, yeah.
I really liked that one.
Yeah, that was really
cool.
Good, yeah.
And the Hellboy sword was obviously awesome.
Of course, yeah. I think that was the first one I watched, was the Hellboy sword, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one I watched, but him building the shiny maze was pretty amazing.
I do like his Comic-Con videos, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, he's always... Yeah, it's always interesting.
Adam Incognito.
Yeah, but then he always releases... or I guess it's maybe to subscribers. They get to see him build it before the public gets to see it.
Yeah.
Because then usually it's like backwards. It's like shows him walking around with it, and then it shows him doing the build.
Yeah.
Like afterwards, so you can kind of see how he puts together his costumes, which are always intricate and cool.
Well, they have the website Tested too, right? So it's probably maybe a website exclusive.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, it's probably exclusive content until it's released on YouTube.
On the YouTubes. Yeah.
And then my other one that I kind of... That's not really movie is Linus Tech Tips. I sort of rediscovered him recently, but he's really good. And he was actually... I don't know if he's totally local, but he used to work for NCIX, which...
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about him.
It's a Canadian computer parts company, blah, blah, blah. That's unfortunately going under. But he created this channel way back in the day about just tech tips. And then he spun it off into his whole little media empire that he runs now. And he does a lot of really good content for computer and phone and tech stuff. And they do a show called The WAN Show where they kind of talk about... current tech news, but then he also has things it's like, oh, what graphic card should I buy? You know, and kind of breaks down stuff, and so really good at getting the information.
I should tell Tony about it.
Yeah, it's great
because he's building a computer and he keeps sending me pictures of stuff and being like, ask Dan if this is good.
Sure. Well, and that's as well. He has a really good ability to communicate his content and knowledge to people.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah,
that's awesome.
I'd recommend checking him out for sure. And then the rest of mine are mostly movie.
Oh, should I go then?
Sure, if you got anything else, non-movie, let's say, and then we can talk about some movie channels.
Yeah. So the other type of YouTube channel that I watch is either political or news commentary.
Oh.
So comedian or like comedy-based commentary. Right. So I love to watch The Last Week Tonight when they come out.
Last Week Tonight. It's gotta
awesome.
be on there.
Yeah. I like John Oliver. He's pretty funny.
He does a really good job, for sure, on that show.
Not to get political, but I'm definitely lean more to the left. So these are all kind of more in that general...
elitist.
Yeah, I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I really like the Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. They're pretty funny. And then also Seth Meyers with his Closer Looks. They're pretty. I usually watch those.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever watch them?
No, but that's obviously from his show.
Yeah, the
right?
late
Tonight.
Show or Late Show
the
Tonight.
Late Show. Yeah.
They're pretty good. It's just they're usually like between 9 and 13 minutes, and it's just basically like this is what's going on, and this is why it's dumb.
It's kind of interesting that it's like all these shows are so spawned from what John did.
That's the other thing is that I watch Daily Show clips.
Yeah, and
I really like Trevor Noah.
Oh yeah,
he's really funny.
That's good. I actually haven't really checked any of his stuff out recently.
Oh yeah,
but it's just interesting that it's like that political comedy style is proliferated everywhere, and everyone has their own spin on it. But it's also it's just so informative.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like I don't know. I get depressed when I watch the news, so I just don't.
Yeah.
I feel like with the news, there's no news source where it's just like here are the facts. I feel like they all kind of have a slant on it.
Sure, or they sensationalize everything.
Yeah, or they sensationalize it.
Like, dude.
So I might as well watch a comedy show, so at least I'm being entertained while I'm being horrified.
Sure.
But yeah, so I really like The Daily Show, Last Week Tonight, Samantha Bee, Seth Meyers. I feel like I don't really like Stephen Colbert's shows so much anymore. I kind of feel like they've put a leash on him, and I don't know.
Well, and he's not...
He can't swear.
Well, and he can't do his character anymore, right?
Yeah,
he's not Stephen Colbert.
I mean, he's still entertaining, but it's not the same, I guess.
He can't be his Colbert character anymore.
Yeah, so those are... that I watch those.
That's cool. I was unaware that you were watching...
The Seth Meyers show also does this really funny bit that, like, whenever they post clips, I watch it.
Sure.
And it's called Jokes Seth Can't Tell. And it's Seth Meyers and 2 women writers on his staff.
Okay.
And one of them is black and one of them's a lesbian. So he does like the setup to the joke and then they finish it. It's so good.
That actually is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's really well done. Like
that was like that Chappelle bit where he did back in the Chappelle show where he's like some of the thoughts I have, it just sound weird unless it was coming from a pretty white girl, and then he's like, I have a pretty white girl right here, and then he's like pretend to write on cue cards and have her say stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and then like I said, for myself, most of the rest of these are mostly movie or entertainment related. But the 2 that I really, of late, enjoy the most would be The Nerd Writer, which I think his channel is Nerd Writer 1. Some of his stuff, like some of his videos, I think he does some political ones that I just don't click on. That's not me. But he does a really good job. I guess they're video essays, I think they call them.
Yeah.
And mostly focused on movies and entertainment, and they're really good. He does a really good job of, like, he'll break down, like, one topic, and they're, like, under 10 minutes, like...
Was that Westworld video?
Yes.
That was the Nerd Writer, right?
Video,
I think I've watched a few of his videos.
Yeah, so and for example, that Westworld one, which I did post on our Westworld episode page, it's, him just breaking down one scene of acting between Anthony Hopkins and the other character, and it's really cool. I really liked he did a neat one on Akira, which is one of my favorite movies and series, and it was just about animating the light, because it was done in cell animation.
Oh, okay.
It was done by hand.
So
they actually had to hand animate all the light.
Oh, crazy.
So it was cool. He does some neat stuff, and I think he's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, some of the stuff I'm kind of like, that's not why I'm here, but other things I really, really do enjoy his videos. Yeah, he puts them together really well.
Cool.
Yeah, and then the other one, which I think we spoke briefly about, was Lessons from the Screenplay.
Yeah, I really enjoy that channel too.
Yeah, he's really good, and I know he doesn't, or it doesn't seem like he posts as regular, but I think it's mainly because he really goes in depth into the topic of, he's probably got to read the screenplays and do all this research, right? So, and I think he's probably in film school, I'd imagine.
Or gone to film school.
Or gone to film school, at least, yeah. But he highlights one movie usually.
Hey,
oh, sorry.
I'm pausing you just for a second.
Oh.
Did you know that, what's his name, went to VFS?
I don't know. What's his name?
Oh, shoot. The guy that, the Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob, was his name? Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith? He went to VSF?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The Rio might be shutting down.
Oh, really?
And he's rallied to, like, help save it.
Oh, really?
And he was, like, saying that he's VFS alumni, which I had no idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That seems weird.
Because he's from Jersey,
Yeah, I was about to say he's from Jersey.
But I didn't know he came up to Vancouver for school, so it's kind of interesting.
Huh.
Just on a side note, because we're from Vancouver.
Yeah.
I knew the Soska sisters went there.
Yes.
But
You're telling me that.
I didn't know he went.
Yeah, it seems like I've seen the VSF name pop up a lot through people who, like, recommend it. It's like it's known, and plus, yeah, Vancouver has a pretty thriving film industry and TV and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, I've seen it like show up in videos. They're like, oh yeah, you should check out VSF, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it seems weird to me because without throwing too much shade, I work in a store that's very close to VFS,
yes.
And I often get students coming in, and sometimes when I meet them, I'm like, oh my god, how do they tie their own shoes, let alone make a film? And I just, and so, like, because of that, my outside perception is that this is a school that you just pay to get a degree from, but
right.
I think I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a case for some people.
Sure.
Circling back.
Lessons of the Screenplay, or from the Screenplay. Yeah, he usually highlights like one movie, and then, or maybe a style, because I remember when he talked about the Wes Anderson one, but he was really talking about Moonrise Kingdom, but he kind of jumps back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he talks about the screenplays, and what makes these movies good is the basis of that they're from, like what they're written by, and yeah, he talks about, and I read a couple of his recommended books, one of them being Story by John Truby.
I think really I bought that one too, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, it was really good, and it totally opened my eyes up as to why some movies have problems. Right? It's just like you're like reading it and you're like, yeah, that totally makes sense why this movie failed or this character failed. And like I said, this guy, Lesson from the Screenplay, I don't know his name, but he's very good, and like I said, he puts it together well, good content and well researched.
He'll show you pages from the script and stuff too, and which is kind of cool.
Sometimes, yeah, because there's handwritten notes in some of them and stuff like that. And so yeah, I really enjoy his stuff. I don't think I've watched all of his videos, but I've definitely watched quite a chunk of them, and I should watch more of his videos.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Somebody along the same lines that I've recently started following is Austin McConnell. Have you heard of him?
I know.
I think he only's been putting YouTube videos up for a year, but he has like 136 subscribers, something like that.
Yeah.
He is interesting because not all of his videos there's no theme that I can think of.
To like the channel or to like the video?
to the channel.
Right.
But he did a bunch of short films and won awards for it.
Oh, really?
And then he tried to produce like a feature-length film and submit it to Sundance and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible movie.
Oh, no.
So one of his videos breaks down why his movie was terrible and what went wrong and what went right and how he like fucked up and like stuff like that. So it's actually really interesting to watch.
That is kind of interesting.
From like, it's like a post documentary about
about his own movie.
But he also does like really random. Had a book published, and so he's got a video about when he was a teenager. So he's got a video about tracking down all the copies of the book that are out there in the world, so that nobody can read how terrible his writing was. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, his videos are kind of interesting, but that one in particular was cool because it's quite long. I think it's about half an hour, but it's an interesting behind the scenes like view of film.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that kind of reminded me. There was another guy I checked out a few of his videos, and I now don't know the name of the channel off the top of my head, but he does he looks at historical movies, and then sees how accurate it is to
oh my God,
actual
that's funny.
history stuff. So he did a good one about Master and Commander.
Oh yeah,
which was pretty cool. Read the Russell Crowe movie with oh my gosh, what's his name? It's escaping me.
Russell Crowe.
He's Vision. Paul Bettany, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that.
You know who else was in that?
Lots of people in that.
Pippin.
Yeah, Billy Boyd. Was it Billy Boyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was also in it, yeah. But anyway, so he goes through the movie and then just talks about how the depiction of sailors in the British Navy in that era, how true to real was it? And he kind of just breaks down point, and they're long videos, 45 minutes long or something like that. And he does a bunch of them that I've seen, and it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, just kind of reminded me of that.
No, it's just cool, from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think Austin McConnell also did a video on what are their names? Bink and blah blah. The comic book that was about it's non-canon, but it's two random characters in the Star Wars universe that kind of explain the plot holes, because it's kind of like a Guildenstern, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern type scenario where it fixes the plot holes because they're oh, this happened because they fell in here because they're kind of incompetent and stuff like that. And I guess it boosted because he has so many, I don't know, it went viral or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It boosted the sales of the comic book, and
really?
now those characters are getting inserted into the Han Solo movie.
Nah. That sounds like something that doesn't have to happen.
No. Well, the Han Solo movie doesn't have to happen, but I will go see it.
Yeah?
Probably. You'll go see it too.
Maybe.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. We'll go see it together and then we'll review it.
Sure.
I said it before and I'll say it again. We don't need a young Han Solo movie because we already have 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Derailed.
No, that's okay. And I was gonna say I was gonna bring up Every Frame a Painting, which was a guy who again was looking at movies and stuff like that. He doesn't do content anymore. I think he stopped.
He may just be on hiatus.
Maybe, but he was really good about it as well. He mostly talked about the visuals.
That's
of
cool.
Film or TV shows, and just how some were put together well and how you make it beautiful, because his idea of every frame is a painting.
I heard that movie Amelie that's what they did.
Yes.
Is that if you pause it at any given time, it's a perfectly composed picture. Right?
Well, and I was gonna say, or a Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Some of his more recent ones,
God,
especially it's every.
Maybe not Bottle Rocket, but
but every frame is a painting.
Yeah. Yeah, Amelie was a beautiful movie.
Yes. Yeah, and then I also have down Wisecrack. I check out their stuff.
See, okay, I enjoy some of Wisecrack.
Yes, that's what I was saying. There's caveats.
Not all of it.
There's caveats.
I enjoy the philosophy of blah, 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 whatever they're reviewing.
Yeah, those are usually
Rick and Morty or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're what is it? The guy that's supposed to be an alien?
Yeah, Earthling Video or whatever.
Oh, God. I'm always so excited because the title makes me want to watch it.
Yeah.
And then I click on it and I'm oh, fuck you. It's this asshole.
Yes. It also, I find that series disappointing.
Yeah, it's just not
I like
good.
the idea. Just give me a cool breakdown of the movie.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
But I do enjoy some of the Thug Notes. It's kind of funny where they have,
Oh, yeah.
Thug guy doing book reviews, and it's usually, highbrow books. Some of them, right?
Nice.
So that. So he's got some interesting stuff there too. But yeah, I usually enjoy their philosophy of videos more.
Yeah.
Sometimes I always feel like that there's not that they're making it up, but it's you're kind of reaching. It's a show, it's a joke, and they're wow, and I'm whatever. It's cool. That's what the point of art is, though. You can interpret it many ways.
I always find they'll get sucked into those Game of Thrones theory videos.
Oh yeah.
And from a commercial, and then I'll be watching it and I'm oh God, that's a stretch. Come on. Yeah. And then it turned out that his name was Hodor because he was holding the door.
Oh my God.
No, we don't need that.
It's so satisfying. Literally.
Why can't he just have a name?
Yeah. It's so satisfying.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it so hard. I hated that part of I'm gonna rant from it. That was the worst part of Game of Thrones. The worst. Because one, we didn't need an explanation of how Hodor got his name.
Yeah.
And two, everyone's like, yeah, but he was so heroic. They gave him a heroic ending. I'm like, no, they fucking didn't. He was being mind controlled. That was tragic.
Yeah.
That just means Bran is an asshole and he ruined this guy's life.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I liked the flip side of it, that his power was so powerful that he could go back in time and mess up his life.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We didn't need, like, I wasn't, like, watching it and being like, oh my god, I hope they explain why Hodor is named Hodor.
Yeah. Well, you just
Fuck.
save it for our eventual Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah, that's true. Just fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one channel that I have not talked about yet because I didn't know where to categorize it.
Sure.
It's music. It's Pogo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And actually,
I remember Pogo.
Dan turned me on to Pogo like 10 years ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
Maybe more. Maybe like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I used to listen to it while I was doing homework.
Yeah.
And Pogo takes sound clips, and remixes them into songs. So one of his oldest and probably most famous is Alice one.
Yeah.
I subscribe to his channel, and sometimes he does live streams where he'll like take the song and show you how he made it, and like the clips and how he put it together. In I think he uses Fruit Loop or FP Pro or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Fruity Loops. But so he'll show you like how he put it together, and he'll answer questions. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, he talks about it. He's been paid by companies to make songs for advertising. His songs have been used without permission in Disney theme parks.
Nice.
Yeah. So his is actually really interesting too. Because the songs are good, so they're fine to just listen to it. He usually does a little video where he's got mashed up clips that kind of match along with it. But it's also interesting if you catch any of his live streams or if you watch any of his old streams, because it's cool to see like that back end, how he does stuff.
How we put together. And it's funny that you mentioned Pogo, because I remember when you recently mentioned Pogo to me, I couldn't even remember it. And you're like, oh no, it's that guy. I was like, that guy's still doing content like that? I was like, good for him.
Totally, There's like Pogo, and then there's like, I can't remember his name, but his like personal channel where he like, because he also does stuff where he'll do a Kickstarter to like go to a country, record a bunch of sound clips and video, and then make a song about it. Right. So he goes along with his friend to like do that too, which is kind of cool. Yeah, no, like I said, I remember, when you were talking about it, I was like, what? I was like, are you talking about that guy? It's very cool for him. He has some cool content for sure. Yeah, I would totally check that out if you're bored or whatever.
Well, and it's funny that you bring up, because when I look up music videos, I always try to make sure I get like, what is it, the V-mode? Like the legit one.
The legit one, so that they get the money.
They at least get the click to be like, I watched your video. Not saying that some people don't make some great fan videos.
Oh, totally,
There's so many good ones out there, but it's just kind of like if I'm just clicking on the random song, I try to make sure it's the...
If you're watching Sexy and I Know It for the 20th time, you want to make sure they get that that money.
Obviously.
That click.
No, I was going to say, because it's funny, because we always jokingly watch Sail by AWOL Nation, but then there's a video that these two girls did where it's them,
I thought that
chasing,
was a video.
Yeah, it's them chasing them, and then like they get in a water fight, and then they're like choking the other.
Yeah, it's so well done.
It's actually really well done. Yeah,
I like it better than the actual video.
Yeah, the actual video is kind of cool. Aliens coming and kidnapping the guy. But...
I don't think I've actually seen the actual video, because I think that the girls' video comes up first.
It does actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I say, it's definitely a really good tool for all that. And I know that there was controversy about people getting the money and this and that. It's all like, I don't know. It's like, but I'm not going to see your music video in any other way. It's not like I can watch a music video anymore on Much Music or MTV. They don't even show music videos anymore.
That's true, man. That's true. I wonder if they have pop-up video on YouTube. Do you remember pop-up video?
I do remember pop-up video. Pop-up video was pretty great.
Yeah. Is there anything you don't watch on YouTube? Like, you just won't watch it? Any type of video? Can I say what mine is?
Sure.
I hate the fucking reacts videos.
Oh,
What is
yeah,
it?
like...
Kids react
Oh,
to,
God, yeah.
I don't know, somebody getting murdered.
Oh, I'm sure there's a huge swath of content that I don't watch because I'm like, no. And so it doesn't even enter my brain. Yeah, like
It comes up
trailer
in my...
reaction videos. I'm not going to watch somebody watch a trailer. I hate trailers on their own. So I'm not going to watch someone react to a trailer.
That's fair, yeah.
So, yeah, like you say, like that whole... No.
Yeah, no.
Anything else aside from just react videos?
That's like my number one.
That's your number one,
Like,
yeah.
I avoid
really?
like the plague.
Nice.
Even when they come up in my suggested, I'm like, ugh.
Well, and obviously, like, I don't watch movie trailers.
Oh,
all
you
that
know what
kind of
I
stuff.
like?
That all shows up, and I'm like, no.
This is like an honorable mention is that I know you hate BuzzFeed, but BuzzFeed Tasty does this series of videos where they go to they pick a food and they do it at 3 different price points. I really like that show.
Well, and they used to do some, because I watched some of them, there was like, they had Korean people trying like American snacks and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Like Americans trying Korean snacks or whatever. And those were kind of funny because some of them I've eaten before or some I haven't. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And then they're like, oh, this is so weird. And then you're like, yeah, it's just...
Worth it. That's what it's called. Worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
So like the same food at 3 price
Yeah,
points?
so they'll be like...
A cheap version, expensive version.
Mac and cheese. So they'll go to a place that has it for $2, a place that has it for $15, and a place that has it for $300.
Right.
And the high-end one is always funny because it's usually got truffle in it.
Of course.
Or gold leaf.
Yeah.
Edible gold leaf and truffle.
That's how you make it better.
Yeah. But theirs are usually good. And then there's 2 of them and their cameraman. And then so at the end they decide which restaurant was the most worth it for them at that price point, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Which I really like those ones.
That's kind of cool.
It made me hungry usually.
That's fair. Well, and never mind. That's on Netflix.
Yeah, and then there's also like BuzzFeed Tasty does like another video where it's like homemade versus store-bought. Those are kind of good too, where somebody makes something homemade and then they buy it and then they ask people which ones taste better.
Yeah.
Or now I'm getting on a wreck because they're cooking shows. Yay!
Yeah.
There's another one where they take 4 different famous chefs' recipes and make their version of the same dish.
That's kind of cool.
And then get people to try it. So one of the ones they did was like pancakes, and I can't remember who it was. I think Ramsay had something, and then I don't know, some other 2 famous chefs, and then The Rock.
Nice.
Yeah, and then they got people to try them and see which one was the best.
Nice.
So it's pretty good.
Obviously, The Rock.
I think The Rock put chocolate chips in his, and he won because
because he had chocolate chips in it. Good play.
Yeah, it's good. I think they did a scrambled eggs one too, and I can't remember who did it, but they like put a shit ton of cheese in them, so that people are like, well, obviously. This one.
Yeah, it's got all the cheese in it.
Yeah.
That's just cheating.
Yeah, totally. We have a YouTube channel.
We mentioned it earlier, yes.
Mentioning it again.
Oh, okay.
You can subscribe to it, or not. You can be like Dan, or you can watch our videos or like them or whatever. It's up to you. It's Tome of Uselessness. Yeah. We're also on Instagram, Tome of Uselessness with Tome_of_uselessness. Our website, tomeofuselessness.com.
Yeah, all the links are off our website, which is nice and easy.
Yeah. We don't have a Facebook yet.
No.
Because I'm too lazy to make one, and Dan doesn't have Facebook.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think like you were just saying in the beginning, that it's like YouTube has become such a not only just phenomena in content, but it's like there's tons of really good content on it. It's not just random videos anymore of somebody falling over, and but you'll find great compilations of people falling over, right? Like So, but yeah, it's become such a neat thing, and it's very interesting.
And it really gives people a platform to people who wouldn't have it 20 years ago.
Absolutely, that's
to produce whatever they want. Yeah, and which is awesome.
Like I was saying, there are some new ones coming out that I know of, like other platforms that are trying and stuff.
Failing.
Failing. But it's just hard to come into the juggernaut, because even I wanted to say, from a technical point of view, when YouTube first started, you couldn't post more than like 10 minutes. Yeah. And then it got a little bigger, and of course, internet speeds have gotten better, and mobile, and all this kind of stuff like that. Like when we upload our podcast videos, they're an hour plus, and there's no, warning, no like, hey, you got to break it up. You had to break it up back in the day, right?
I remember,
Yeah, you don't have to do any of that anymore, so it's definitely, it itself has come a long way.
For sure.
And just like the ability to post our videos.
I've noticed lately that on YouTube and my mobile, sometimes there's like there'll be like video, and then there'll just be like a picture or a survey that comes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that. I hope that doesn't take over. Like, it doesn't become like Instagram or something.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say it's great, and it's great that like look at this list of content that I have. Like I didn't even, when you first approached this idea to me, I was like, what do I even watch on YouTube? And then I started making a list, and the next thing I know, I got like 15, 20 things here on this list. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's great.
I don't know. You want to say anything?
That was my final say.
Okay, cool. Good. All right, well, goodbye.
Thanks for listening, and see you later.
Yeah. Bye.